Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I don't know, we did these out of order, so I don't know what episode this is, but welcome back to I Was Thinking with Robbie McElhaney. Josh is here,
I
and
am. There I am.
and we're going to concert, I guess, last week. I guess either one I could have started with how's that concert, but
Yeah.
um, we're going to Morgan Wallen as we record it tomorrow. See Brooks and Dunn, Morgan Wallen, sadly not Ella Langley.
We're seeing Brooks and Dunn. I'm okay
We're
with
seeing
that.
Brooks and Dunn. But welcome Josh back to the show. Glad to have you. We are back for I don't know which is this 4? 3 or 4?
Oh yeah.
4.
I think this is
4 or 5
4
maybe.
Or 5 together. Yeah.
Of brotherly, not so much together,
brotherly
but of
banter.
brotherly banter.
Yeah, I think this is probably 3 or 4 brotherly banter.
Of brotherly banter. So welcome back. Follow us on our social medias. Catch us wherever you catch your podcasts, and make sure you stay tuned on our YouTube. Brotherly banter, we will start with a topic you wanted to bring up, something I held off on. We've kind of taken a hiatus. We have an episode that came out last week, but we've taken a little bit of a hiatus, so we haven't talked about this, and I know it was something you wanted to bring up.
I want to talk about Kyle Busch. Actually, I'll try not to get emotional about it. Obviously, if you have any kind of social media or pay any attention to anything that's going on in the world, even if you're not a fan of NASCAR, you've likely heard about the passing of Kyle Busch. The first thing I want to talk about, racing aside, what a tremendous father this guy turned out to be.
Yeah.
He leaves behind a family, 2 little ones, I think an 11-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And a wife.
Well, he was what, 40?
He was 41.
41.
A brother, and a mother and a father. His kids, I think, will be well cared for by the community.
Well, and that's something that, as an outsider, per se, I give a lot of kudos to the NASCAR community for. In particular, I think the world of the drivers in general now, but even more so after this, I believe, was Kyle Larson's son.
Yeah, so Kyle Busch,
Mm-hmm.
is his victory celebration was a bow. He had, and I'll talk about this in a second, but he had a relationship with the fans where he would bow after winning. So drivers, since his passing, but to your point, Kyle Larson, the reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion, has 2 young kids who are also racing now.
Well, I did see that part.
And Kyle himself have been bowing after, but Kyle and his wife Samantha battled infertility, and they have the Bundle of Joy Foundation, who cares for couples who are also battling infertility. And Kyle Larson, in his last 2 sprint car wins, has donated his winnings to the Bundle of Joy Foundation.
That was Kyle Busch's foundation or Kyle Larson's?
Sorry, Kyle Larson donated to Kyle Busch's foundation, the Bundle of Joy. I'll plug for that. I've donated myself. I would encourage that.
Yeah.
I donated, I think it was like $18.08 or something like that, for Kyle's 2 numbers. Kyle was a family man, left behind wife and 2 kids, and that is probably been the hardest thing for me to reconcile. His relationship with his son.
Yeah.
Seeing some of the clips of him and Brexton at the racetrack together. I really, really feel for the Busch family. Brexton is back at the racetrack,
mm-hmm.
which I loved seeing that. He was at the Charlotte Quarter Mile this week, racing his Legends car again. So I was really excited to see the bright neon green 18 out there with Brexton. I'm thinking about the Bush family. We're 2 or 3 weeks later now, and I'm still.
I think the thing with sports, is especially, NASCAR's always been something special to you.
Yeah.
And it's such a niche sport per se. It has a huge following, but at the same time, it is such a niche sport that these individuals that compete in it are on a different level.
Like, I literally watched him grow up.
Yes.
Like, I can remember his first win at California in 2005. I don't know that he was even 20 years old at that point. So I have watched him grow up in front of the camera. And it was watching the Coca-Cola 600 Memorial Day weekend, the weekend he passed away, and not seeing his name in the scoring pylon was just just really odd for me. Like, I kept waiting, like Dale Jr. Was going to talk about what Kyle Busch was doing in the race.
Yeah.
And that they never, he didn't have a part to play was just really weird. And I mean, I knew obviously the news resonated, but I think that's the first time it really sank in was when I watched the Coca-Cola 600 and I didn't see the 8 with Busch next to it on the scoring pylon. I thought what Steve O'Donnell, who is the president CEO of NASCAR, said before the start of the Coca-Cola 600 was powerful. That dude has literally been on that job for like 2 weeks before this happens. And for him to get up there and do what he did, I thought was powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe more powerful than that was the courage that it took for the Busch family to be there literally 3 days after Kyle's passing. When I as I was sitting there watching, I saw them walking to the camera. I'm like, oh my God.
At the same time, where would they rather be?
Right. Like, I would have been pissed.
Well, and that's the thing. And it doesn't compare. But, we lost Pap.
Yeah.
And as much as I hated it, the best place for me to be was exactly where I was when I was coaching the next day.
Yeah.
So, and not so much because I was a coach and that was what I did, but football was Pap's thing.
Yeah.
And so, where else would they rather be? But I also think it showed the NASCAR community, and where I was going with Kyle Larson, was it his son that walked up and put his arm around
Preston, yeah. Just like, what a
moment.
What a moment. And like, they didn't tell him to do that. Like, he just walked up on his own accord and hugged him. But this definitely gave Dale Earnhardt vibes.
Yeah.
Like, just, it's the second time Richard Childress Racing has had to do this. They had to put Kevin Harvick in a car a week after Dale Earnhardt died. They had to put Austin Hill in a car 3 days after Kyle Busch died. NASCAR, the better or worse the show goes on, and like, you've got sponsors and commitments to fulfill. And it was just, it's been a really tough couple of weeks for the NASCAR community. Talking about Kyle the driver.
Yes.
Kyle the driver, honestly, may be the best to ever do it. He has 263 career wins. Obviously, the number that always gets touted from a historical standpoint is Richard Petty's 200 Cup wins.
Yeah.
At that point, Cup racing was much different than Cup racing now.
Yeah.
Not like, I think anybody that talks about this in the media is always like, I'm afraid I'm casting shade on what Richard Petty did, and nobody's doing that. But they raced more frequently. The competition wasn't as stout. Like, you might win a race and second place would be 3 laps behind the winner.
Yeah.
So it was just different than it was now. Kyle he had 63 Cup Series wins. So 200 wins between the Truck Series and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. What he did across the 3 national touring series for NASCAR was incredible. Just 2 championships in the Cup Series, at least one in the next series down. Seriously, one of the best talents. I think should be the first unanimous Hall of Famer. Well, the fact that there are certain other drivers that weren't unanimous,
right?
Not going to go down that road, but he should.
One day.
I don't want him to go in with this class. This class should be this class.
Right.
NASCAR, I think, should
I
waive.
Think you have to give him some time.
Well, NASCAR's a 3 or 5 year waiting requirement. I do think they should waive that.
Yeah.
And put him in next year.
I agree.
But people were talking about it, on the Monday after the Coca-Cola 600, put him in the Hall of Fame. I agreed with what most of the folks in the media had to say. That's a very emotional reaction. Take the emotion out of it. Enjoy his accomplishments.
Yeah.
Let his accomplishments speak for themselves for now. And then when they put the ballots out next year for I think it'll be the 2028 class, then put him in. Don't make him wait. Go ahead and put him in because he is the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes the way he did it,
he was a bit of an asshole.
Rubbed some people the wrong way, but that was just part of the appeal.
He won.
Yeah, I mean,
it worked.
He showed up and he won. He wasn't really dirty about it, but he was
just an aggressive
brash.
Yeah.
He was a character, over the top. He got emotional. People love to call him a crybaby, and yes, sometimes he gave off that vibe.
But there are a lot of drivers now.
Yeah, but I watched the Rowdy documentary on Prime. Really good. Obviously you're not gonna really enjoy it if you're not a NASCAR fan.
Mm-hmm.
But it dove into why he was that way. Dude just wanted to win.
Right.
Just wanted to win. Finishing second, you were the first loser. If you ain't first,
you're last.
So he just wanted to win, and he did that a ton. And him not being around anymore because that guy's story was not finished.
Right.
All he wanted to do was race in NASCAR against Brexton. I think that was going to be it for him. Was wait till Brexton got there, and now, we're not going to get to see that, and that's just it's really sad.
It's sad.
Kyle Busch is the GOAT. I have no issue saying that. Doesn't have as many championships as some other guys, but I think he's the best to ever do it. So, rest in peace, Kyle Busch. Rowdy forever.
Very good. On a much, much, much more lighthearted note, as you see my hat.
Welcome to the
Are you? Oh no! Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna flash back to Memorial Day. Me and Kate were camping. I looked at her, and me and you had talked before this, but I looked at Kate. And I said, Kate, why do I hate Pitt? And she goes, I don't know. I go, you know what? Neither do I. Now, when I preface this, I am not, in the current state, a true blue and yellow Pitt fan.
Yeah.
But like I said, I am a Pittsburgh guy through and through until Pitt. As much as I like to fight it sometimes, I do believe we both have, but I have taken a lot from our father. I think the last thing I can take is there is a world where I can be a Pitt and Penn State fan.
I can't
now the true diehards on either side. And here's the thing, and maybe where it hit me was we were at the Hall of Fame, and Jack Ham was there and did a Q&A, and they asked him what has it been like since you retired with football, like your relationship to football. He's like, I'm just a fan now. And I go, that was the one thing I was very excited about after getting fired. Was shit, I just get to be a fan. Well, I shouldn't say after getting fired, because I had opportunities, but after choosing not to pursue them.
Yeah.
I just want to be a fan. I've been to more Pitt games in the past 2 years than I have Penn State and Notre Dame games in my lifetime. So, why not? And I like the band.
Band is great. The Pitt band.
Is that the...
What? No.
What?
I feel like we should just move off.
What's the fight song? Wasn't that it?
No, that's they play that. Oh yeah, that's pretty close.
Okay. See? But I like the band. Sometimes, and I'm going to slowly save this part so I can properly bleep it. It gets tiring saying eat Pitt.
Yeah. It gets tired of hearing it. It
gets fun seeing your reaction. And that was honestly what Kate brought up is it because Josh loves them? Well, probably. Yeah. But I am just a fan. So to the Pitt fans that I have upset, I think my sentiments and points still stand. I still think it is one of the most unnecessarily arrogant fan bases in college athletics. But I'm happy to be like a junior member.
Yeah, we still have a conference championship more recently than Penn State.
And you also play in a joke of a conference. But regardless, I apologize for my anti-Pitt slurs.
Yeah.
And I will just be a fan from now on.
It's nice to have you. Or is it?
Nice to be had. We're going to jump ahead now. I had these as two separate talking points in, deals. But I think they can be combined into one. The best thing, and I had a conversation with a buddy of mine about this, and it's not necessarily true because they did have some good pickups. But the best thing to happen to the Pittsburgh Steelers offense in the offseason occurred. Myles Garrett is gone.
See, I don't think it changes that much.
It does, but it doesn't. If there's somebody, I think the Ravens are still a tough matchup. But if there's an individual that I will be thrilled not to see in the AFC North, it's Myles Garrett. If there is a unit I'm concerned about, it's the Ravens. But as far as defenses go, because the Bengals at large, the Browns at large, but with Myles Garrett, you knew they had somebody.
Well, I tell you what, the guy they got back for him, if you want to talk about the deal,
which I didn't,
I
didn't love either way. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, but
because I thought the same way originally, and again, shout out to Tyler Pajak, a huge Browns fan. He asked me, he asked me to grade, and I think I gave C's or B, low B's and C's to
degrees
to each side. But the more I think about it, so the Rams get a great player.
Correct.
They gave up a ton.
They gave up a ton, and that's what I didn't quite get. Because I do think if there is a loser in that deal, as good of a player as they got, it was the Rams.
Well, they did. They only gave up 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the only first round pick they gave up, and they gave up future years 2s and 3s. Jared Verse is a great player.
He is.
He is. I'd say Myles Garrett light. There is. I think what Myles is 30 or 31, not super old, but when you hit 30 in the NFL, it feels like everyone makes it like the Reaper is coming. And
at this point,
Jared Verse is only 25.
Yeah.
So I think both teams got what they were looking for.
Right.
So I don't have any issue with this trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't getting Myles Garrett for free.
No.
And it sounded like until Jared Verse's name was added to the trade that this wasn't going to happen.
Well, yeah.
So, and now it sounds like there is wind picking up about Aaron Donald maybe coming back.
I think that would be stupid. I think his wife agrees.
I think that would be a mistake.
Look at Tom Brady, buddy. Don't do it.
If Aaron Donald comes back and plays alongside Myles Garrett, like this, the defensive unit was probably the unit that was holding the Rams back last year.
Yeah.
And they're basically going year to year with Matt Stafford now, Steelers. But
we'll get there.
That was the unit that was holding them back from being really good.
Mm-hmm.
So now you add Myles Garrett and maybe Aaron Donald, and I would take Aaron Donald at 85%.
Yeah,
which I think is what you'd get because that dude is still.
But
there's difference between being in football shape and being in shape. So, but I'm not.
Very good point. I'm very proud of you for that.
Thanks. I'm not worried about him getting back into football shape though.
Yeah.
Because that guy clearly takes care of himself, so I'm not worried about him getting back into football shape.
You ready for me to get pissed off at the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh boy.
What the hell are we doing?
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out.
The world will never know. Like nobody knows. Like I don't think they know.
They don't. I think Omar Khan.
That dude is in over his head.
I don't know whose ass his head is up, but
what happened though? Because the start of free agency, they were doing such a good job,
and that's where I said I was hesitant to make the joke that the best thing to happen to the Steelers offense in the offseason was Myles Garrett because the Pittman deal was good. I was a fan of the draft. I think they outside of the Drew Aller deal, I thought they had aside from managing the draft.
Yeah,
I thought they did a good enough job.
Yes. They've had in a while.
It was the first time that I can sit back and say they addressed the needs that they needed to.
Yeah.
But then we turn around and sign Grandpa Rogers.
If you didn't know that was happening, like
you did, I know, and that's where I was naive. I think I had a little bit of hope that the longer the period of time drew out, the more likely we were to see a different result. But I just what are we doing? And everybody, they're committed to winning now. With a geriatric quarterback?
No, I still like this team is destined for 7-10.
And we had I said I had a conversation with a buddy on this subject this week. In professional football, especially, I don't understand we'll say necessity to have this attraction. Like, we're going to win because we have Aaron Rodgers. But
I think they believe experience matters.
Yes, but the thing is, you kind of have it elsewhere. You have it in Pittman.
Yeah.
You have it
Pittman
in DK.
Hasn't been there, though. DK hasn't been there.
But neither has Will Howard. And neither...
I've heard he's looked bad.
I don't know.
Like, I've heard he's looked bad. Although to the same extent, I haven't heard a peep about Drew Aller. Aside from his footwork looking like
dog.
Yeah. So like the quarterback situation is obviously still not resolved.
And when will it be? Never.
Unless
the world might never know.
Well, yeah, unless they only win like 3 games this year, which is
it could happen.
Yeah. Like, I don't.
It could happen, and I think the Steelers fan base needs to be just be ready for that, and don't come in with the, well, how did this happen? very carefully.
You watched a slow burn.
It's just Pittsburgh needs to be ready.
I'll tell you what, if they, I'm make a bold prediction right now. If they win 5 games or less, they fire Mike McCarthy.
I don't think so.
I could be wrong.
Because who's running the organization? Art Rooney.
Well, I know that, but he's still like the whole win now thing. Like, but they're not going to.
Too busy picking his new sweater to wear under his suit jacket in the middle of August.
Well, that's true too.
He looks like an idiot.
Well,
like I mean, I don't know. I cannot stand Art Rooney.
I don't know what's happened because it feels like things have really fallen off the rails. The extensions over the last few days have been massive.
Here's the thing. With the extension of Herbig, bold concept. Very bold. May piss some people off. May open some question marks. But in terms of looking towards the future while trying to win now, does the extension of Nick Herbig and the trade of Myles Garrett open the door to trade TJ Watt?
There it is. Yes. 1,000% yes. Do it tomorrow. Like, I'm absolutely okay with it.
And that's the thing. And for one, I'm not sold. I mean, TJ Watt's never going to have a down year. But in TJ Watt terms, last year was a down year.
I've always said that dude's a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
Like, he is so fragile, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, but the whole Watt family was.
Correct.
Like, for his
honestly, the toughest one was Derek.
Yeah,
I don't want to say the toughest one, but the most.
And when I say they're fragile, I'm not saying they're not good football players, but they just can't stay on the field.
Correct.
And that's what you're paying them to do.
Yeah.
So.
And paying him a lot of money.
Yeah, and I'm okay with moving on from him.
Yeah.
Like,
in the name of the future of the organization.
Yeah, like you're not going to win this year, and you're probably not going to win next year.
Because that's the thing. I think you can get a first round pick.
Oh yeah.
For him, and you're not going to be very good this year, so you're going to be high in the draft. How did they get Ben?
By losing.
How did they get Terry?
By losing.
And that's where I'm, as much as I've supported Will Howard and going younger at quarterback, I don't know that long-term wise, the youth that they have in the quarterback room right now wins.
Yeah.
But let's lose with
quantity over quality is not going to work here.
Right. Let's, in my opinion,
lose to win.
Lose to win.
Yeah.
And I'd rather lose with the youth and see what you have versus throw Papaw out there and let him do his stupid little Mario jump as he throws some suck-ass.
Somebody listening to the fan, and they talked about kind of the way that he played last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that he kind of pulled some punches. And granted, I don't really think a whole lot of any of them on that particular station, but what made sense is maybe he pulled up a couple of times where he might not have otherwise, because he was like, okay, I think I'm maybe going to do this one more year. So maybe he actually tries a little harder this year because it is truly the last dance.
I'll give him that. What does trying harder for a 42-year-old to be 43?
Yeah. I still think I put Aaron Rodgers on a Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks.
I'm not saying no to that. But there's a difference with, and I don't disagree with him.
If he's actually
there's
healthy.
A difference between a healthy Aaron Rodgers in his prime at the quarterback spot.
Yeah.
Than 42-year-old, post torn Achilles Aaron Rodgers coming off of a yoga retreat in a dark, musty cavern somewhere.
The fact that he's at OTAs,
it's big.
Yeah,
I'll give him some credit there.
I will say, I think he ends up looking better this year than last year.
God, we can only hope.
I'm not saying they're going to win 11 games and
Right.
lose in the wild card again, but like, I think he ends up looking a little better this year than he does last year.
Yeah.
Did last year.
Sure. You got anything else for the Steelers?
This summer is so important for them. Like, not just this year, but seeing
summer. High School Musical. We're big fans here. Anyhow,
but seeing what you got at the quarterback position, not talking about Aaron Rodgers, but what does that actually look like when you have competitive non-OTA reps? Because OTAs are whatever, but like seeing them on the field at Latrobe, what does it look like? Are they sailing it over their heads? Does their footwork still look like they're working out in a blender? Like, does it get a little better? That's going to be really important. And then that's
what time's it? Summertime. It's our vacation.
Lord.
But the summertime is the best thing. We're going to flip-flop these because now I'm in the summertime mood. The summertime, I don't know what Ricky Bobby. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands.
Yeah.
Summertime is fun. Simple statement.
We're still wearing hoodies though.
I always tell me I had the same argument with our father.
Yeah.
When's the last time you just? I mean, these are kind of rolled up, but when's the last time you saw me in a t-shirt?
And we are both our grandfather's grandsons because I can't wear anything long sleeves without rolling it up.
I just wear. Well, I mean, I very rarely will roll them up. No, I can't say that. I roll them up a lot. But anywho, summertime is such a fun time. It's such a fun time. Do you have fun in the summer?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, welcome to the blooper reel.
Do you have fun in the summer, viewers, listeners?
Yeah.
No, I mean, in terms of sports, it's fun. Because you're looking forward to the preseason. You got football coming.
Yeah, baseball.
Baseball is in its strongest point.
NASCAR summer stretch is always fun.
Yee.
Yes.
What?
Okay.
You got the biggest party of the summer coming up in a month.
SummerSlam will be in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is exciting.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
Not so exciting, but
well, I mean, know what?
I want your take. We talked after opening day.
Yeah.
And I want your take as we sit on, what is it, June 4th?
I still give them a B. Like, this lineup has been tremendous.
Yeah.
The lineup has been tremendous. They're actually hitting the ball.
They're hitting well
this year. The one thing that I think everybody knew going into this year was they were wanting to hit the ball.
Ish.
Their defense is so bad.
It's so bad.
So bad.
Again,
listening to well, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Listening to the fan on my way up here. And the phrase was used about to describe how Nick Gonzalez is playing at third base last night was as Nick Gonzalez was standing over there throwing up on himself at third base. I'm like, okay, that's a really eloquent way to describe putrid defense. But everybody knew that they were sacrificing defense for offense.
Mm-hmm.
So that much has come true. The starting pitching, I think, has come as advertised. Bubba Chandler has been really bad. Really bad. He's a guy that they need to be good. Like, Paul Skeens, the tape is out. I'm not going to necessarily defend him because he has not been as good. I still think he's an excellent pitcher. He's going to get it figured out. Be great if they could play some defense behind him, but he's also getting hit around as well. The bullpen is just terrible. I I don't. There's nothing else to say about it. I mean, they
bad.
Yes. The Carmen Majinski thing. You want to talk about that for a second?
Whatever you want, buddy.
Not going to defend him, but obviously I don't know if you saw the remarks he made about moving to the bullpen or potentially moving to the bullpen, and everybody was all up in arms, and obviously he walked away from the team for a day, and they gave him a day off, putting him on a restricted list. But the thing that nobody talks about is, one, he didn't actually say, I wouldn't go to the bullpen. Jared Jones did.
Yeah.
That guy actually said verbatim that he was not going to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Nobody got mad at him for that.
Right.
I don't understand what the difference is between what Mlodzinski said versus what Jones said. Like, Jones should have taken more heat than Mlodzinski. I know there were other things, but Jones actually said, I won't go to the bullpen.
Yes.
But I still give them a B for where they're at.
Uh-huh.
I think the arrow is still pointing up.
Moving ahead now, double E.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did you watch Clash in Italy?
Be honest with you, I didn't even know it was happening.
I didn't know it was happening, but I will give them credit. I didn't read the score cards or anything. Not a terrible show.
So you watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was both good and bad.
Yeah. I think it was good. I don't agree with Triple H's statement that it was a WrestleMania worthy card, because it wasn't.
Well, I mean, you had Fatu and Roman and Cody and
Banger.
Hunter. Yeah.
Banger.
Yeah. I mean,
the three matches that carried it to me were all three bangers. And it was Cody Gunther, Roman Fatu, and I love Obafemi and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I'm a little torn on that. So I guess they're going to settle. The third match will be at SummerSlam,
and he's going to retire, which I called. I thought it was going to be with Gunther, but I called. I am very proud of myself. Very proud of myself.
Yeah, I think some of the things that happened during WrestleMania season kind of shook that up a bit, because I think everybody thought it was going to be Gunther.
Right.
And then when they had to throw the Seth and Gunther thing together, and which was still fine.
It was. But I think, and I was talking to Kate about it, I think Obafemi is a clear example of why NXT works. Because you bring in these guys where it used to be you'd have to insert them and pray that the character caught fire. Now, in some instances, you knew it would. But now you're bringing these guys up and these ladies up, and they have a following. Why is Sol Ruca able to be a Women's Intercontinental Champion in a month?
Yeah.
Because she came in with a following. Why is Obafemi beating arguably one of your top stars in the history of your company?
He has a following, and dude's a beast.
Yes, and he's good.
Yeah.
But how does he get good? Because you put him in. It's the same situation in football. Why do preseason games work? You put them in the situation before it counts.
Yeah.
Like, NXT ain't drawing in money, but you see who's going to draw money when you put them on Raw, when they go to SmackDown. So, like, to me, they have the potential to be the best that the company's been in a long time. But they need to.
They need to do one of two things.
Mm-hmm.
They need to either take the belt off Cody, or turn him heel. Like, please,
desperately,
please, for the love of God. Like, although the same thing can be said with Roman, like, they're just trying out the same guys, just burying guys every week. Like, same old, all the time. I was a Cody and a Triple H defender for a while, but all Triple H can write for is bloodline.
I know.
And that's where we're at again.
But I also wonder how handcuffed he is. We have 2 more points. One's a talking point. One, we're going to do another Mount Rushmore. The Concussion movie Concussion came on the Netflix this week. And that was one I wanted to talk about. And it turns out you had never seen the movie.
I had not.
Let me hear your thoughts.
One,
first cinematically, and then we'll talk about the content and the nature of the film.
Really good movie. Some not great acting, but that's to be expected in a Will Smith movie.
Kate's home.
Falcon Caitlin. Some pretty bad acting in the movie, but it's a Will Smith movie, so I guess what do you expect? But it was...
Well, I think when Will Smith, aside from the one about the Williams sisters, I think when Will Smith tries to play somebody, I saw something. Cookies! Kate was at a farmer's market today and was given specific instruction. Robbie like cookie. Anywho, when Will, aside from the, I forget the name of the film, but when he played the dad of the Williams sisters, which I thought he did a phenomenal job in.
I mean, I thought he played the role fine, but there was parts.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Well, that I think that's a big moment in the movie.
Yeah. His acting, and not just him, but there were some other parts of the movie that I'm like, was not great theatrically, but I thought it was good.
So, I know it was a controversial movie when it came out. Obviously, the findings of Dr. Bennett Amalu were controversial in the time. I'd still say, in some respect, they are controversial. Do you want to go first? I'll go first. I think, obviously, I don't agree with how the NFL was ran from an organizational standpoint at the time in regard to player safety and the use of information. But if you're scared, it ain't for you. Like, you're nuts to think all they did was hit their heads. Now, granted, the anatomy part of it is interesting, and there's the part where he's starting to explain it, and he's pulling out these animals that are built for impact to the head, and humans are not.
Yeah, it was a hell of a comparison.
But at the same time, what's the one way to prevent pregnancy? It ain't protection. It ain't a pill. Hell, it ain't even surgery.
Yeah.
What's the one way to prevent it? Don't do it. How do you prevent head injuries and player safety? Get out. And here's the thing, I don't say that in a disrespectful way. It may sound that way because, as we talked about next week, joke if next week's episode we recorded prior to this, but I was a soft football player. If you did that, I was out for a year. But I also knew what I was getting myself into. But I think whilst the implications of the film in terms of putting some knowledge and some attention to player safety, how do you prevent pregnancy? Don't do it. How do you prevent injury in football? Don't play. Josh's take on the implications.
Yeah, I don't really know. There's a whole lot more to say than that, but other than, obviously these guys didn't know what was going to happen.
And it was a different era, too. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, too, that has changed that we talked about next week. And just the changes in the game. There's attention to different things. From a game perspective, from a player safety perspective, we have the ability to do more in the game now.
I'll just say, you got to put Surgeon General warning on a package of cigarettes now, and you
don't have the Surgeon General don't need to get involved in football. It's common sense. I think it's common sense to proceed.
You're right, and I think they said it in the movie that it's some common sense.
Oh, I also don't think you need a label on a McDonald's cup saying, "Hey, if you drink a hot coffee, it's going to burn you."
Yeah, I agree, but it's like
people are stunting society's growth. Sorry. Proceed.
You should watch Concussion.
I do recommend the movie.
It was a good movie.
And if nothing else, if you take the implications from the football perspective, because I don't necessarily, and I don't know, I think if he was more informed, Dr. Benedamalu, that is, if he had a better grip on football, because I don't think what he was doing was attacking football.
No.
It was, these individuals need to be aware of the inherent risk.
Yeah.
Now, I think they were to a level, obviously, and that's the problem too with CTE is you don't know you have it until you're dead.
Right.
If you let them study your brain.
Yeah.
So, and I think, I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole, but, you take guys like Chris Benoit from the WWE that, they studied his brain. He had it. Do you allow that to be reasoning for what he did?
No.
And that's I think, and here's my thing.
I should say it doesn't make it justified.
It doesn't justify it, and I think everybody would agree with that. And that's where this is going to maybe ruffle some feathers. I think in some of the advanced medical areas, we as humans try so hard to play God. Whereas the world, in my opinion, is a black and white world. It is plain as day, right, wrong. The sky is blue, the grass is green.
Sometimes
see it for what it is. At some point, we almost try, and that's the thing, another Netflix documentary, Mr. McMahon, they talk about it, and they bring in, he was a wrestler, he went to Harvard, became a neuroscientist, and studied Chris Benoit's brain and talked about CTE and stuff. At some point, we need to stop using it as a crutch. But I think sometimes we as humans try to dive into things that we were never meant to see. Now, granted, I think at the same point, he makes the point. I think one of the things we as humans struggle with is we try to learn more than we were ever supposed to know. They say in the movie about Benedamalu, when Dr. Benedamalu, that's a theme in the movie, when he was comparing the animals, he said, God never intended for humans to play football. So that's my take. We went down a lot of rabbit holes there.
Yeah.
But it is a good piece of cinema and a very integral part to the history of our country and the greatest game ever played. Mt Rushmore. Boom, boom, boom. We are doing... This is kind of a tricky one to explain, but it's like sports moments / feelings. So not like specific moments in sport unless it invokes that much emotion, but certain things that you do in sports that invoke emotion or that are just that good of a feeling. You got 4. Do you want to like snake draft it, or do you have your 4?
Well, I have one. So it's a moment for me.
Okay.
Something that happened. Dale Jr. winning the 2014 Daytona 500 for...
Oh, that just revs up your engine, huh?
Okay.
I was waiting for, ever since we started talking NASCAR a couple episodes ago, I was ready.
For for a while, he didn't do much of anything.
Oh, yeah.
And then for him to win that race, that was a big deal.
My first one. Not a moment. Picture yourself at a golf outing. It's a nice summer day. It's warm. You're 9 holes in. You're getting a little tired, a little weary. And what comes up to save you? The hot dog at the turn is one of the greatest things in sport. It energizes you. You get a mini bag of chips sometimes, a nice, in your case, maybe a Miller Lite, maybe a Michelob.
Maybe.
In my case, maybe an NA if it's a cool golf course, maybe a nice Diet Coke or a Gatorade. But the hot dog at the turn. It evokes true emotion.
Sweet Caroline.
I can't say it anymore. Kate missed that part, but
Sweet Caroline, from the third quarter to the fourth quarter, even if they're losing,
I will say,
Renegade.
Skipping. Spoiler alert.
I'll go there next, but I will say, one of the coolest moments for me. I was at St. Vincent. It was W&J. End of the third quarter. We're down a gazillion to nothing. And they play Sweet Caroline, the band.
Yes.
Our 15-member band.
Yes.
Played Sweet Caroline. And I flip my mic down and I say, I know this may be a bad time to say it, but this is pretty freaking cool. It's nice. I mean, that's the thing with sports. I do have to jump ahead now that Kate kind of spoiled mine.
Yeah.
Oh, mama, I can hear you crying. You're so scared and all alone. Something about Renegade. And I wish I wore my Renegade shirt today. I wish I saved it.
That's why I thought you were ready to go.
There's a lot of hair in it. I got a haircut today. I know you can tell. Josh got a haircut today. Looking cute as ever. But there's something about the moment that Renegade is played that is just satisfying to the soul. Sometimes, to some people, it is Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Some people still do the Mongolian chants. Throw the
Renegade.
Oh. But when the lights go down, oh my God.
My next is national anthem before Super Bowl.
Yeah.
National anthem and a flyover.
Anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay. This is a tough one. Because I have where I'm going, but I don't know which one I prefer. We will go. This is tough. Your backpack fell. We will go with a goal line stop.
Yeah.
To win a game.
Yeah.
We'll say goal line stop / goal line score to win.
Yeah. I like that.
Go ahead.
So my last one is going to be another specific moment.
Okay.
As I don't know how you could build a list of this without saying the 2013 National League wildcard game.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe if you want to talk about a specific moment.
Quavo's a rapper. Quavo's a rapper.
Quavo. And the Russell Martin home run.
Yes.
Just, what a moment. I still wish I could have been there for that.
I agree. My fourth is also a moment. I think it was 2008. Super Bowl 43.
Yes.
Santonio Holmes. Corner of the end zone. No, well,
that or James Harrison.
Okay. I get to make up the rules again. We get an honorable mention. Okay. For it, I'm going to flip it. That's my honorable mention. Okay. Would you like to go to your honorable mention before I give you my fourth? I'll just say Super Bowl 43 at large was my honorable mention.
I'm trying to think. Probably the Max Talbot shushing of the Flyers fans, and that run to the Stanley Cup.
I would agree. It's a great one. My number 4, arguably number 1. I will say these are in no order. There's a moment in the city of Pittsburgh, sports related, obviously, that will forever stand the test of time. I will tell my kids, my grandkids, and I was nowhere. I don't think I was not a remote twinkle. You weren't the remote twinkle. I barely think our grandparents had twinkles. There is a catch, a reception that may or may not have been immaculate. Can you I thought you would have gotten excited. The immaculate reception.
Well, I thought you were either going there or the Bill Mazeroski home run.
Oh, that's fair too. We'll put a group honorable mention on that one. But the last of my Mt Rushmore, the immaculate reception, is just
from how old do you think our parents are?
Danny Giselle. Happy birthday, Danny. Danny, I don't know what I've been doing. I'm not saying the age, but it's a very large number.
It's not that large.
It's large enough. Anywho, the immaculate reception is a moment in Pittsburgh sport that I just, from a football standpoint, how does it happen? Because you gotta
What if it did?
We will leave you on that cliffhanger. Thank you, Josh. We'll see you next week. As always, make sure you catch us wherever you catch your podcast. Follow us on our social medias. Follow along on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. As always, remember, keep thinking.